The story begins with a voice thundered in his ears, jerking him awake. "You useless fool! What are you still doing in bed? Miss C is already here." A groan escaped the man's lips as he slowly sat up, eyes blinking against the golden morning light. His handsome but slightly disoriented face twisted with annoyance. "Damn it, I've transmigrated again," he muttered, voice annoyed, yet strangely calm. "Get out there and greet Miss Z, now," barked Linghu Kong, the CEO of Linghu Enterprises, a subsidiary of the Tom Corporation, one of the four great families. Before Linghu Hang could even respond, a holographic display flickered to life beside his bed. A chirpy robotic voice followed. "Greetings, host. The man who just yelled at you is your grandfather, Linghu Kong, CEO of Linghu Enterprises, subsidiary of the Tom Corporation. You've transmigrated into the novel C's Dragon King's Raging Son-in-Law, Chapter 35. Your role, Linghu Hang, the villain. Your mission, survive. Good luck, good luck." "Is that a blessing or a curse?" he muttered. "What are you mumbling about? Get out there and welcome Missy. Or I'll show you what a curse really is," his grandfather roared. Linghu Hang stood up, his face expressionless. "Yes, grandfather." Sighing, Linghu Hang dragged himself toward the door. A servant greeted him with a knowing smile. "Good morning, young Master Linghu." "Morning," he replied. His mind elsewhere. "How long have I been living this transmigration life? I can't even remember." It had started with a sudden accident in his original world. He thought he was dead. Then came the voice calling itself a system, had announced, "Villain redemption plan activated." And so began his journey from novel to novel, always as the villain. His mission always the same: play the villain, die quickly, then live on, collecting rewards to bring back to his original world. He'd had his successes, sure, but his failures were numerous, and often absurd. "You can't defeat us," they'd said. Then he peeked out. Whoa! Caught the bullet barehanded. Suddenly, splat. Wrong move. Or that time with the peerless sword immortal. Not a word spoken. Just a sword through the heart. This novel has successfully synchronized. Host, keep going. This time, it's the wife-stealing arc. Zhong Buxuan, he murmured, the male lead of C's Dragon King's Raging Son-in-Law. And Shi Churan, eldest daughter of the Shi family, one of the four great families. The devastatingly handsome male lead. Ugh. Kill me now. Right this way, Missy. Can I carry your bag? He asked, trailing after her with a fawning grin. Don't touch me, she snapped, swatting his hand away without even looking. I'm Linghu Hang, young master of the Linghu family, he protested, puffing up. I'm more important than you. What's wrong with you? Linghu Hang was taken aback. He'd showered her with affection and gifts for a year, a whole year, and she still treated him like a stray dog at the gate.
Meanwhile, Zhong Buxuan, the Dragon King of the Tun Corporation, stood at her side. Not as a CEO, not as a billionaire tycoon, but as her bodyguard. Zhong Buxuan was the center of the universe. Capable of anything. The ultimate hero. The plot bent around him like gravity. And he hated Linghu Hang. With a look of pure disgust, Shi Churan turned to him. Buxuan. Carry my bag. Of course, Miss Z, Zhong Buxuan replied smoothly, already reaching for the bag. That idiot Linghu Hang, so hopelessly devoted. Yet Shi Churan only had eyes for Zhong Buxuan. Even now, when they were just friends, it didn't matter. Another harem novel. Another male lead who gets all the girls. This was a lost cause. See you in the next book. ACH. Linghu Hang cried out. Even if it's a fatal blow, the pain will pass. Just endure it. Then he stepped forward. Miss Shi, there's something I need to tell you. At that, Shi Churan stopped in her tracks. Slowly, she turned her head. I don't want to hear it, she said. But I also have something to tell you. What now? He thought. She's probably going to reject me again. Shi Churan looked him and continued. Linghu Hang, give up. I will never marry you. Even if your family pressures my father. I still. Yes, I know, he cut in quickly. I was thinking the same thing. She paused, blinking. Surprised. Then. A voice rang out from afar. Forget the engagement. I'm thinking the same thing. Shi Churan's eyes went wide, lips parting. What? Zhong Buxuan turned, glaring at Linghu Hang. What tricks are you playing? Zi Churan's frown deepened. Yes, what are you up to? Whatever you say, I won't believe you. Are you trying to trick me? Linghu Hang held up a hand dismissively, looking totally unbothered. No need for dramatics. Absolutely not. Zi Churan chuckled, folding her arms. Linghu Hang, I've seen through your act. You can't fool me, Zi Churan said, walking toward him with a smirk. Stupid woman, Linghu Hang thought, his irritation boiling over. So eager to be part of Zhong Buxuan's harem. I'm the one being played here. It's a pity that I've realized the truth. Stupid woman. Go away. Suddenly, Zi Churan stopped in her tracks, startled. Who said that? She muttered, looking around, scanning the area. Trying to identify the source of the voice. There's only one woman here, so they must be calling me stupid, Linghu Hang said, gesturing toward the door with a forced smile. Don't overthink it. Miss Z, let's go speak to our elders. I promise, there will be no engagement. You don't have to worry. Zi Churan frowned, unconvinced. Zhong Buxuan scowled, his eyes narrowing. The three of them walked toward the house, the tension thick between them, oblivious to the system that had materialized behind them. The host's data link is malfunctioning. His inner thoughts are leaking. What do I do? I can't report this. I'll be deleted. I managed to patch it temporarily. It only happens when he's mocking or insulting someone. The rest is up to him. Linghu Hang stroked his chin thoughtfully, oblivious to the system's panic in the background. According to the novel, I offend Zhong Buxuan by pursuing his women, leading to my downfall. If I break off the engagement, he'll have no reason to target me. The system observed its host's smug grin with a mounting sense of dread. Surviving 5 chapters? That'll child's play. We're in, Linghu Hang declared confidently. Who said that? Shi Churan muttered, still distracted by the mysterious voice echoing in her mind. Turning to Zhong Buxuan, she added, wait outside. Go find a place to rest. Startled by the sudden shift in her tone, Zhong Buxuan hesitated for a moment, then gave a silent nod and stepped out. Linghu Hang was quietly surprised. She was usually inseparable from Zhong Buxuan, but at least she didn't seem upset. Grandfather, I've brought Miss Shi, Linghu Hang announced as they stepped into the room. Welcome, welcome. Come, have a seat, Linghu Chang said heartily, his voice booming through the room. And why are you still calling her Miss E? Call her Charan already. He waved a hand. Someone, bring tea for Miss Charan. Grandfather, Linghu Hang replied politely, all while thinking grimly, I can't stand E Charan. Let her join Zhong Buxuan's harem for all I care. Just cancel this engagement already so I can escape this absurd novel. Shi Chuan stared at him, the realization dawning, the voice she'd heard earlier had been his. He insults me in his thoughts, and now he keeps referring to me as part of Zhong Buxuan's harem? Her mind flashed back to Zhong Buxuan's reassuring words, don't worry, Missy, I'm here. Even if they send 10 more men, I won't let them touch a hair on you. She frowned slightly. He's my bodyguard, I trust him. But, a harem? Is someone spreading rumors? Meanwhile, Linghu Kong leaned forward, intrigued, as he watched Linghu Hang politely offer Shichun a cup of tea. Why so formal? It's time you two got engaged, don't you think? Shi Charan's father said, nodding in firm agreement. Without hesitation, Shi Charan slammed her hand on the armrest and rose to her feet. I disagree, she said sharply. I have no feelings for Linghu Hang. Marriage is a lifelong commitment. I want to marry someone I love. Across the room, Linghu Hang shot his grandfather a thumbs up. See? Forced marriages never work. Shi Charan turned to stare at him, stunned. Is he actually serious? Her father stepped toward Linghu Hang, clasping his hand warmly. My boy, I know how you feel. You've always indulged Charan, why stop now? She's just being childish. No, no, Uncle Shi, Linghu Hang interrupted gently. Miss Shi isn't being childish. I admire her strong will. She said she doesn't want to marry me, and I respect that. I won't force her, absolutely not. Shi Charan blinked in confusion. Where did this sudden change of heart come from? Yesterday, he sent me a 5,000-word essay confessing his undying love. Moved to tears, her father wiped at his eyes. My boy, you're so selfless. You're willing to stay by her side even without a promise of marriage. But even patience has its limits. Linghu Hang offered a knowing smile. Uncle, you're a true businessman. You understand the art of negotiation. Then, with a sigh, Shi Charan's father turned to his daughter, and began to scold her. Jichuan, tell me yourself, have you gone too far? Her father demanded, his voice stern. This marriage must happen. At those words, Linghu Hang immediately dropped to his knees and clutched his legs. No, let's not get married. I beg you, he pleaded. Then, turning to Jichuan, he thought, why are you so quiet now? Come on, tell your father you don't want to marry me. Are you really this stupid? Jichuan, hearing his thoughts, smirked before grabbing his collar. So, you've changed your mind, have you? She teased, eyes glinting with mischief. All that talk about caring for me, and now you don't want to marry me? Linghu Hang froze, his words caught in his throat. Before he could react, Jichuan released him with a dismissive wave. Father, I've thought about it. Feelings can be cultivated, she said, her tone suddenly serious as she turned back to Linghu Hang. I agree to the marriage. Linghu Hang, still reeling from everything that had just happened, was hit with her words again. Are you insane? He screamed inwardly, forcing a strained smile onto his face. No, no, there's no need to force yourself. Did you take the wrong medication? Still half asleep? Go home to mommy. What kind of heroic stunt do you think you're pulling? You stupid woman. I swear, I just want to smack you senseless. I want to crack open your skull and see if your brain is smooth enough to be a waterslide. Jichuan leaned in closer, a sweet smile curling on her lips. Our parents arranged this marriage. Don't you get it? Linghu Hang gritted his teeth. I get it. I just want to strangle you. She casually slung an arm over his shoulder, her tone playful. Don't you like me anymore? He stared at her, speechless. Of course I do, he muttered, irritated. Linghu Hang frowned inwardly, thinking, what kind of question is that? I just want to crack open your skull and see if it's hollow. Jichuan brought a finger to her lips, giving him a coy look. She couldn't help but relish the drama of his inner monologue, it was so satisfying to watch him squirm. With a sly grin, she licked her fingers suggestively. Linghu Hang grabbed her hand firmly, his voice low. Let's talk outside. Turning to their fathers, he added. Uncle Z, grandfather, excuse us. Go, spend some time alone, his grandfather boomed, giving them an encouraging wave. Your feelings will develop. Outside, Ling Hu Heng exploded. What was that about? We can still call off the engagement. Jichuan leaned casually against the wall, her gaze playful. Why would I do that? This marriage has been arranged. I have no reason to refuse. But you said you wanted to marry for love, he shot back, irritation creeping in. And you used to despise me. Come on, let me off the hook. We can't get married. Jichuan's face flushed a light pink. I don't like anyone right now, but maybe, after we're married, I'll fall for you. Ling Hu Heng immediately clutched his head in distress. No, don't say that. If you fall for me, I'm dead. Zhang Buxuan will kill me. Zichuan, overhearing his thoughts, furrowed her brow. Zhang Buxuan? Why does he keep mentioning him? Why is he so afraid of him? He's the young master of one of the 4 great families. Why would Ling Hu Heng be afraid of a mere bodyguard? She sighed, watching him pace nervously. Ling Hu Heng, overwhelmed, muttered to himself, it's too late. He suddenly slammed his hands against the wall, trapping her with nowhere to go. For a moment, Zichuan was taken aback, but she quickly regained her composure. Last chance, he said, his voice low. Are you calling this off? Zichuan smirked, clearly unfazed. No. What are you going to do about it? Ling Hu Heng, momentarily speechless, could only silently scream I can't do anything as he looked around the banquet hall, desperate for an escape. A man from the crowd raised his glass with a grin. Let's toast to the happy couple. To the happy couple, the guests echoed, their voices filled with false cheer. Ah, the joining of the Ling Hu and Anzi families, a formidable alliance, one whispered. I heard Miss she despised young Master Ling Hu, guess that was just a rumor. Meanwhile, Zhang Buxuan stood alone, his glass in hand, a dark frown etching deeper across his face. As the guests' congratulatory cheers echoed around him, Zhang Buxuan crushed his glass in his hand, the shards biting into his skin. He didn't flinch. Ziozi, he said, his voice low and dangerously calm. I object to this engagement. A chill ran down Ling Hu Heng's spine. Here we go. I'm doomed. Shi Charan's father turned to Zhang Buxuan, eyes narrowing. And you are? Zhang Buxuan, his posture straightening with a cold arrogance, answered with a smug sneer. Take a good look. The room fell into a brief, confused silence as Coz struggled to place him. Who do you think I am? Zhang Buxuan's voice was dripping with disdain. The guests murmured, puzzled. Who is he? Don't tell me he's some mysterious tycoon. The atmosphere shifted as Xiao Zhao's face lit up in recognition. You're my daughter's bodyguard. His expression darkened instantly. And what business is it of yours? The guests erupted into laughter, some unable to hold back their amusement. A bodyguard, they scoffed. A bodyguard objecting to the young Mrs. engagement? How amusing, Coz sneered, barely concealing his amusement. Ling Hu Heng groaned internally. Can you all stop drawing attention to me? Coz waved him off dismissively. You're fired. This is the last time you'll ever set foot in my house like this. I suggest you leave now. Next time, you'll be lucky if you find work shining shoes. Zhang Buxuan smirked, his expression one of cold amusement. Coz, I've only tolerated you because of your daughter. Did you honestly think you could arrange her marriage on your own? Zichuan stepped forward, her voice sharp and firm. This is my marriage. My father can arrange it, who are you to object? She hadn't fully realized how arrogant and delusional Coz was, but his words left a sour taste in her mouth. Disgusting. Coz roared, his temper flaring. I don't have time for a fired bodyguard. Get him out of here, he barked, turning his attention elsewhere. Facing the approaching guards, Zhang Buxuan chuckled darkly, cracking his knuckles. You only sent 2, he said with mock surprise. Let me tell you, 2 is not enough. I can take on 10. If that's what you want, COZ said, gesturing to his security team, his voice cold and commanding, get him. The Shi family's guards rushed forward with battle cries, charging at Zhang Buxuan. But one by one, he deflected their attacks with ease, sending them crashing to the ground without breaking a sweat. The remaining guards, now panicking, tried to regroup. Right, one shouted, rallying the others. They charged at him together, a desperate mass of bodies. But even their combined force was no match for Zhang Buxuan's skill. With fluid, practiced movements, he dispatched them with ruthless efficiency. Anyone else, he challenged, his eyes blazing with fury. Ling Hu Hang, watching from the sidelines, could barely keep himself together. He's furious. I'm so screwed, he thought, his heart racing. Trying to mask his fear, he forced a smile and stepped forward, clapping his hands. Brother Buxuan, your martial arts skills are truly impressive. Zhang Buxuan's glare could have cut through steel. Ling Hu Hang's voice dripped with insincerity as he continued. It's all a misunderstanding. Don't be angry. Don't worry, Shi Churan won't marry me. Just as you wished. Are you satisfied now? Zhang Buxuan snorted, his expression dark and unreadable. The guests murmured nervously among themselves, their whispers thick with tension. That bodyguard is going too far, ruining the engagement party like this. Young Master Ling Hu is so well-mannered. If I were Miss Shi, I'd choose him without a second thought. A violent bodyguard is no match for the Ling Hu family's young master. Zhang Buxuan overheard their whispered comments, his eyes narrowing. Money and education. Something a bodyguard like me doesn't have. Ling Hu Hang's eyes widened in disbelief. Zhang Buxuan's face darkened, his gaze locking onto Ling Hu Hang with fiery intensity. So that's how it is, he muttered, his voice dangerously low. How insidious. Ling Hu Hang froze, his heart skipping a beat. Wait, what? This isn't how the story is supposed to go. His mind raced, scrambling to make sense of the situation. The plot is deviating. The bystanders are supposed to be on my side, despising the arrogant protagonist. Why is it the other way around? No. 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 Someone help me. This isn't right. Ling Hu Hang thought, his mind spiraling. Should I just elope with her? Shi Churan is your wife, you idiot. His eyes shot daggers at the useless Zhang Buxuan, who was just standing there, doing nothing. Shi Churan, hearing every word of his inner panic, couldn't hold back a quiet giggle. He looks so calm on the outside, but inside? He's screaming like a husky. This is too much. Zhang Buxuan, completely unaware of Ling Hu Hang's turmoil, bowed deeply and spoke, his voice sincere. I don't care about the others. As long as Miss Shi is happy, it's worth it. He knelt before her with a determined look. Don't worry, Miss Shi. I'm here. No one can force you to marry someone you don't love. I'm not afraid of anyone. Ling Hu Hang's mind raced. Yes, that's it. Be a man and carry her away. I won't stop you. But Shi Churan's face darkened, and she snapped. Zhang Buxuan, you're annoying. Ling Hu Hang, dumbfounded, stared at her. Huh? What's with that expression? Cry. Let me see some tears. Agree with him. Do it. Shi Churan rolled her eyes and snatched her hand away from Zhang Buxuan's grip. What are you looking at? He asked, a slight chuckle in his voice. An escape route. Don't worry. I'll take you away. Zichuran yanked her hand back, her voice sharp. No. Who wants to go with you? Are you out of your mind? She turned to Ling Hu Hang, her eyes demanding an answer. Ling Hu Hang. He blinked, caught off guard, then responded with a calm, almost dismissive. What? Zichuan walked away from Zhang Buxuan, who stood frozen, his fists clenched in frustration. I think I understand what Ling Hu Hang is trying to do, she thought, a realization settling in. This world is a novel, she continued in her mind, and I'm one of the female leads destined for Zhang Buxuan's harem. The thought sent a chill through her. If I go with him, I'll just become another conquest. Another pawn in his game. Well, that's the end of the video, but don't worry, I'll be back. If you enjoyed the content, smash that like button like it owes you money, and hit subscribe so we can make this a regular thing. See you in the next one.